Well, good afternoon, East Alabama and West Georgia. Here we are again. It is 12:58 p.m. Central, 1:58 p.m. over on the eastern side of the time zone. We got a nasty thunderstorm moving through Chambers County at this hour. The National Weather Service issuing a special weather statement for this lone thunderstorm that has developed in the heat of the afternoon. Now, I told you the last time we talked, we didn't anticipate a significant severe weather outbreak for this afternoon, and the models are just having a hard time getting a handle on what may or may not happen this afternoon, and Mother Nature's just not giving us a break, and here we are again with another very strong thunderstorm over Chambers County. Now, I'll tell you this much. In the last volume scan, appears to me that some of the energy is trying to break apart here, and we're looking at two different cells there in Chambers County. If I rock this thing back about 10 minutes or so ago, you'll see that we had two cells, one very heavy just north of Lafayette, and then when you bring it current, it's really kind of breaking up into three different cells here, and none of them look nearly as strong as they did about 10 minutes ago when this thing first developed right there along the Tallapoosa County, Chambers County line. We had some hail involved in that storm. You can look right there between Frog Eye and Budston, and you can see just west of Marcoot, you can see right there that no question this storm was developing hail. Now, we bring that forward in time, and you can see that that hail core has dissipated. The heaviest part of that moving right over Buffalo, and then a secondary cell up there between 5 Points and Holiday Park, and then bringing it all the way out to the last volume scan received from the National Weather Service, and it's very clear that this storm not as strong as it was when it was back over there on the Tallapoosa County line. Heavy rain, no doubt, out Highway 109 from the Alabama state line all the way to LaGrange. Heavy rain there along West Point Lake, stretching back to 5 Points, and then between Lafayette and Lynette, maybe a little bit to the north. We have some heavy rain there. If we go back into Tallapoosa County, we've got a line of showers stretching from Budston down to just north of Dadeville, back over the north end of Lake Martin, there at Our Town, and then into southern Coosa County, between Seaman and Hyssop, right there along the highway. We have a heavy cell there. Zooming back out, that's it. That's all we got going across East Alabama and West Georgia at this hour. Montgomery's got a small shower down there on the west side of town. And then up north is where I anticipated most of the activity to be today. Along and north of I-20, and so far that's where most of it has stayed, except for this one thunderstorm complex that's moving through Chambers County, which appears to be weakening as it moves on off to the east on your Sunday afternoon. Yes, Leslie. Right now, this storm system that's moving through Chambers County is nowhere near as strong as what we saw this morning. It was getting there. It was getting there when this thing was sitting back over the Tallapoosa County, Chambers County line right there at 12:24, which, what is that, 30 or so minutes ago. It certainly was getting pretty close to the same intensity as what we saw this morning. But when we bring it forward, you can see that it's nowhere near as strong as it was. Now, that one up there around 5 Points maybe is intensifying a little bit. But this is very small, isolated area. This is nothing like what we saw this morning. So I just thought I'd jump in here and give you a quick update on what's going on at the moment. No weather watches in Alabama or Georgia. We do have some thunderstorms, no question, along and north of the I-20, I-59 corridor in Alabama is where most of the activity is right now, just north and northwest of Birmingham. as the heaviest storm. And then we have a pretty significant cell just south of Huntsville. All of that's moving off to the east, so that's going to stay well north of East Alabama and West Georgia. The only thing we're dealing with across most of our coverage area is this complex that is developing in the heat of the afternoon and so far has not gone severe. We did have a special weather statement. It certainly was about to go severe as it crossed out of as it crossed out of Tallapoosa into Chambers. It reached its peak intensity. Since then, it has been weakening, though this cell that's near 5 points does appear to be ramping up. We'll notice there may be some extremely heavy rainfall or maybe even some small hail just to the east, maybe a little bit northeast of White Plains, right there along Highway 431, just west of Fredonia. We could be looking at some very small hail. We've certainly had a couple of lightning strikes here in the last 3 minutes. Radar is telling us 5 lightning strokes of lightning in this area. This is moving off to the east at about 30 miles per hour. So if you're downstream from this, if you're over here in Amity Park, West Point Lake, Holiday Park, Southern Pines Campground, heads up. As this cell is moving in this direction. So if you're anywhere on West Point Lake and you're watching us, you want to head to the shore. You want to get off of the water. You do not want to be on the lake with this storm moving in. Even up here around the Highway 109 bridge, you need to get off of the water. A lot of folks, it's Sunday afternoon, so a lot of people are out there on the water. A lot of folks are fishing, they're skiing, they're enjoying a beautiful Sunday afternoon. But if you look back to your west, you see darkening clouds and you can hear thunder off in the distance. It's time to get off of this body of water. If you're at a campground or you know someone that's at the lake, call them. Make sure they know that there's a pretty heavy thunderstorm about to move right over West Point Lake, and they need to get off the water. Everybody can be a hero in situations like this. Play your part. Make sure that your friends and family, especially those who may be, up there enjoying some recreation on the lake, make sure they know about this. And tell them they need to seek shelter until this moves through. There's going to be plenty of more daylight hours with plenty of sunshine this afternoon to have a good time. Right now, if you're on West Point Lake, this is not the time. Get off of the water. Head to the shore. Lynette, that secondary piece is moving through Lynette, West Point, Gabbettville. This is going to stay, I think most of it stays just a little bit north of Lynette. This is going to move right over West Point Dam and the Kia Motors plant. But it's not severe. These storms right here are well below severe limits. Thanks, Wanda. I appreciate the kind words. There's Barbara Earl watching us from Roanoke. Hey, Nancy, watching us in Rock Mills. So, I'm about to try to get outside and clean up around the house here on the mountain from last Monday afternoon's flooding event that we had up here. We lost 2 culverts in our road. Our driveway is about 1.5 miles long before you get back into civilization. And we lost 2 culverts, which we worked on that all week. Had a top of a tree fall out, and I'm telling you, folks, it couldn't have come any closer to the chicken coop and the beehives, but it missed both of them. There was like a V in the top of the tree, and the V landed right where the coop and the beehives are. And so I have a mess on either side, but it didn't touch either one of them. So the good Lord was blessing me on that one. But, yeah, I got to get out there and get that cleaned up this afternoon. And our koi pond, which is in a stream bed, flooded. I mean, bad. Washed all of our fish downstream. Every afternoon after work this week, I've been going downstream and dodging water snakes, trying to find my koi fish. And I think I have actually found all of them and got them back in the pond. The pond's full of silt. I got to get that cleaned out. So there's just never a dull moment up here. So I'm going to be watching the weather across East Alabama and West Georgia and trying to do a little cleanup around my homestead this afternoon as well. I've got some more road work needs to be done, so I'm going to be on the tractor here in a little while. But I'll be keeping an eye on this, and if I see anything, obviously Mother Nature is going to do Mother Nature. We didn't think we were going to see severe this afternoon. So far we haven't. But certainly pop-up showers and thunderstorms are going to be a possibility this afternoon across East Alabama and West Georgia. In those areas where this is not happening, and I'm talking about Randolph, Clay, Talladega, and then in West Georgia, Carroll, Hurd, Coweta. If you've got sunshine, and most of you do, heads up. There's a good chance of the longer you go without cloud coverage, the higher the chances are going to be of strong storms as we head toward mid and the latter part of this afternoon. So heads up there. And again, we'll watch this for you very closely, and we will be back with you, and we'll continue with our. All right. So Richard says that we are camping at Amity Campground. So thanks for keeping us informed. Well, you're welcome, Richard. It's great to hear from people who are in the areas we're talking about. That lets me know that what we do is valid and that the message is getting out there. And that's why we do what we do. So thank you very much, Richard. I appreciate you taking the time to let me know that you guys are actually at Amity Campground and you're watching us. Yeah, Angie, I finally did get a cup of coffee after that first break this morning. Josh, at the moment they're weaker than this morning, and the overall consensus is that they stay weaker than this morning, but I have to tell you, models are struggling with what's going to happen this afternoon. This wasn't even supposed to really take place, what we're seeing down in Chambers County. So I think all bets are off at the moment. I think we're just going to have to this is going to be one of those weather afternoons where you just simply have to look out the window and see what's happening, and that's what you're going to get. You're welcome, Barbara. I mean, there's no way to tell you that they're not going to be as strong. The overall thinking is they won't be. But the overall thinking also is that we wouldn't have storms to deal with this afternoon. But as you can clearly see, we do. So at this point, I would say remain weather aware throughout the remainder of the afternoon and into the early evening until we lose the heating of the day. And if you're over here on West Point Lake, we're talking Holiday Park, Amity Park, there at Abbott's Ford, all the way down 29, Southern Pines Campground. Heads up, you've got a strong thunderstorm, not severe, but strong thunderstorm coming out of Chambers County that's going to move right across the central and southern parts of West Point Lake. Now, way up there on the north end of the lake, everything looks pretty good right now, though you need to be close. If you're going to be out on the water, you need to stay close to your dock because that could change pretty quickly. So, again, we'll watch this for you. If we see a need to come back on, we will, and we'll continue with our coverage here on Dr. Don's Weather. Thanks for joining us.